What's up, y'all? I am here today with my lovely friend Anna Rosenstengel. Anna is a yoga teacher extraordinaire and an energy healer, as well as an energy coach. So, jack of many trades. I'll link all of her info below just so you can take a peek at what stuff she has going on. But she has agreed to be my yoga Barbie today. I'm going to take Anna through a base Rocket One sequence. Without any bells and whistles, really. We'll still do some wrist warm-ups in the beginning, but otherwise we'll stay pretty true to the format. And this is also a video not just for you to be able to practice through this sequence, but to also see the adjustments that I'll be giving Anna throughout them too. So it'll be a great reference to return to as we move throughout. So we will begin in tabletop. I'm just gonna let Anna start to move her body naturally on her own, do whatever feels good for about 10 or so breaths. About 4 or so more rounds. And we'll slowly come back to a neutral tabletop. From here, Anna will turn her fingertips towards the long edges of her mat and then start to take a little sway side to side. So as we move through wrist warm-ups, key aspect of this is gripping through finger pads to light up the muscles of the fingers, the palms. Notice Anna's doing a great job of still engaging her core here as she moves. This is a great place to continue working, or come back to neutral and turn your fingertips towards your thighs. Shine your forearms and wrists towards the front of your space. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your chin and your seat towards the sky. Exhale, cat. Curl your chin to your chest as you round and puff up through your back. Let's take a couple more breath to movement. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good, one more round on your own. Again, focusing on the grip through the fingers here, how the wrists are feeling at this point. Great place to assess and just notice what you might need throughout practice. And inhale to neutral. Mindfully turn your fingers forward. If you want a quick counter stretch, maybe press the back of one hand down and then the other. A couple breaths to do so. Amazing. All right, last wrist warm-up we'll do are knuckle push-ups today. So from tabletop, shoulders over wrists. Inhale the heels of both wrists up, maybe your thumbs too, and then exhale them both back down. Inhale them both up, exhale them both back down. So keep going here. We've got a few more rounds or so. If at any point you want more intensity here, you can always walk knees further back or even do this from a high plank if you're feeling real feisty. But most important is just finding a space that allows you to engage the muscles of your forearm and keep all 4 of your main knuckles grounded while you do this. I like to think of these as calf raises, but for your arms. Really similar action is happening here. All right, last layer, we'll add a pulse. So hover the heels of the wrist, take a little pulse down and up like you're pumping against the earth. Good. Just for 3, 2, 1. Amazing. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, exhale your hips up and back. Some freeform movement can be really nice here in the initial moments of practice. And then when you're ready and you feel complete in any organic movement, start to come to stillness. Ground down through all 10 finger pads as you roll your shoulders apart from one another. As your chest melts towards your thighs, good. Allow your hips to lift high. A few more breaths here. And slowly begin to inhale to your tiptoes, gaze forward. And mindfully walk your way to ragdoll at the top of your space. Take your feet maybe behind wrist creases, bend your knees a lot, capture opposite hand to opposite elbow and begin to either move here or just enjoy a static heaviness through your torso. Maybe open and close your jaw. Let's say like 5 more breaths. Again, the wrist warm-ups and this ragdoll entrance are not traditionally part of the rocket sequence. Usually we hop right into sun salutations, but I think it's really nice to add a little warm-up beforehand just so we're prepped and ready. Let's take one more big breath in. And exhale your hands down to your mat. Toe heel your feet together to touch. Leave some room in between your heels. Allow your arms and torso to stay heavy. Inhale, roll up to Samastitihi, one bone at a time. Good. And once you make it to the top of your space, roll your shoulders down and back, shine your arms and palms forward towards the front of your space. Maybe close down your eyes here for a couple more moments. Just integrate into this space, acknowledge that you are here, you are practicing, you are focused and present. Take a deep breath in. Big breath out. Gently blink, eyes open. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Press your palms together above your head. Gaze up at your thumbs. Let's linger a couple extra breaths. Hug your navel in towards your spine as you continue to squeeze and light up. Good. Reach through your arms and shoulders. One more deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Start to melt your heart down. Inhale, halfway lift. Press into shins or thighs. Maybe fingers stay grounded. Either way is great. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Stay for one more breath in. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands. Step back. Hold this first one. Again, more traditional would be to go straight to chaturanga, but letting this land a little bit first, I think, builds a lot of power. Hug your navel in, tone your glutes. This looks super strong, Anna. Inhale, shift forward slightly. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, flip your feet, pull your heart open, press through your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, really nice. 3 breaths here, just to ground, check back in, and integrate. And we'll start moving a little bit quicker, breath to movement from this point through the rest of sun salutations. As you exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, step or hop to the top, find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. We'll go traditional. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands by your sides. Good, that completes one sun A. We'll begin again. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, palms pressed, look at your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your waist, melt down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen and squeeze. Exhale, chaturanga. Step back, lower down halfway. Inhale is up dog, peel your chest open. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Again, 3 breaths. Next, exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, arrive at the top of your space, any way you like, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, excuse me. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, palms together, gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good, we'll take one more round through. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Good, next exhale, bend knees, gaze forward. Inhale, journey to the top of your space, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Oh, actually I lied. Urdhva Hastasana. We were going traditional, I forgot. All right, exhale and Samastitihi. Now that completes our sun A, and now we find Utkatasana. Drop your seat, send your arms up, breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right leg forward. Seal your foot. Inhale, warrior one, rise. Good. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, move through chaturanga. And then all the way back to down dog. Step your left foot forward. Ground your right foot. Inhale, warrior one. Hug your inner thighs. Good. Exhale, plant your hands. Journey through chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Then once again, 3 breaths here. Depending on how one is teaching Rocket, you might add in Jedi salutes into Sun Salutation B. Today we're just keeping it, again, true to the format, the sequence, so we won't be doing that. But no, in your own practice, you're welcome to embellish and add on. As you exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, journey to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, drop your seats, press your palms. Samastitihi, exhale your hands by your sides. Good. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, ground your hands. Move through your flow to down dog. Good. Exhale, lift your hips. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, ground your hands. Step back, flow it out. Good, and then 3 breaths in downward facing dog. Now Anna's doing a fantastic job of these sharp, beautiful chaturangas, but note when we go through so many sun cells, it's okay to modify if you need to hold a plank, do a cobra, or skip, or again, maybe do a handstand. Listen to what you need and honor that. We got one more round through once we complete this sun cell. As you exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, journey to the top, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, this round is complete. Final round. Inhale, chair. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, or any layer you might need. Good. Exhale, hips high. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, ground your palms. Take your exhale all the way through chaturanga. Inhale up. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Move your way through. Good. Exhale, hips high. 3 rounds of breath here. And begin to bend your knees, and then inhale, make your way to the top of your space, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Let's take a breath here, fill up. Send it out. All right, standing series, inhale, chair, once more. Stay here, interlace your fingers, flip your palms outwards. Little stretch for the wrists, pull your pinkies back, really nice. Feel your shoulders light up a little more as you hollow your ribs in. Stay for one more breath in. Exhale, half chair, Ardha Utkatasana. Guide your ribs towards your thighs. Continue to sink your hips low. So good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Now, option here for a little bit of crow pose work. Malasana is also a fantastic choice. If needed, heels in, toes out. Press your elbows to your inner thighs. Wonderful. Otherwise, for crow, plant your hands about like a foot or so in front of toes. Lift hips, guide knees towards outer armpits. Good, and then begin to shift forward, weight towards fingers, then the feet float. Notice Anna's doing a fantastic job of squeezing her inner thighs together, puffing through her back. This creates a sense of lightness in her shape. So good, we're here for 3. Option to float back, but just an option. 2, chaturanga is where we will all meet. 1, good. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Now we've got some time to linger here in this shape just a bit. Really root through the knife edge of your left foot to spiral your left hip forward. Just gently guide your right hip back. Nice job. Inhale to reach, lengthen through side bodies, create pressure and engagement through your palms. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Glide open, create length through your stance, front heel to arch alignment as you drop low. Continue to roll your thighs open. Yeah, feel your glutes tone together as you spread your inner legs apart. One more exhale. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Adjust your stance as needed. Then exhale, triangle pose. Send your hips to the left as you reach your arms open to earth and sky. Good. Always an option for blocks here. Continue to roll your heart and hips open as you land in this shape. Squeeze your inner legs together to help create more stabilization. Micro bend through your front knee. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, ground your left hand down. Set up your legs as if you're going into pyramid. We're heading towards revolved triangle. Blocks are fantastic here. Once hips are neutral, root your left hand down on a block inside or outside of your foot as you reach your right arm up. Good. Naturally, the left hip might want to dip down. Press it up a bit, nice Anna, and then pull your right hip back. Deep breath in and out. Let's take a couple more. One more inhale. Exhale, ground your right hand, slide your left foot back, find extended side angle. Right hand will go on a block or on the earth outside of your right foot. And continue to roll hips and heart open as you lengthen here. Beautiful. Press your right knee to your right arm. Feel the isometric engagement this creates. One more breath in. Exhale, we'll find the twist. Option to drop your left hand and left knee to help set this up. Grab your right thigh, reach, and then cross your body over. We're working armpit towards thigh as best we can. Then option to lift the back knee. Hands can stay at prayer or, they might fly open. A few rounds of breath right here. Good, last one. Slowly drop your hands, find chaturanga. And then exhale to downward facing dog. All right, we've got some Pincha Mayurasana here, forearm stand. I'm gonna have Anna demo a few layers before we just hop right into this shape. First is puppy pose. This is an incredible shape just for prep in this shape, right? This forearm stand requires a lot of deep shoulder flexion, which as you can see here, this shape does too. And so allowing a little passive stretch and opening here is fantastic for this. You could stay here the whole time, or next we have forearm plank. Anna's gonna make a number 11 with her arms as she sets this up. Beautiful. She's puffing up through her shoulders. Her core is super turned on and active, as well as her legs and lower half. Next, we got dolphin pose. She'll start to lift her hips as she walks her toes in. Cool thing about dolphin is we're gonna get a lot of mobility here through the shoulders. As you can see, Anna's gazing back and melting her chest. This will help with that deep flexion. We can also build a little strength here. I'll make Anna do just one dolphin push-up. She'll gaze forward and then start to shift her shoulders forward, aiming her thumb towards, or her nose towards her thumbs, and then she presses herself back. I think that's great. That's plenty. All right, she can pick a leg and lift one up for the next layer. Just notice how this feels, the transfer of weight and balance. Or she can add a little hop here, kicking her back heel towards her glute. She'll bend her knee and then kick up and come back down. Good. I'll let her do a few on her own and switch sides whenever she wants. And then on the second round through, I'll give her some spotting, and you can see what that looks like as well. She's crushing it. This looks great. Nice. Amazing. Once Anna has had her fun, we'll take a moment in embryo pose. Knees and thighs to touch, hands can come back by the heels. This is just a nice way to help the shoulders reset a little bit after that deep flexion and strengthening and hard work. Two more breaths or so, reset, recalibrate. All right, and then we'll slowly make our way back to downward facing dog. All right, let's hit the left side. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. A few rounds here. Good, this looks great. Again, drive through knife edge of back foot. Gently hug left hip back. Continue to hug inner thighs towards one another as well. Reach and breathe. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Create space between both of your feet as you drop low into your lunge. One more full breath. Stay, exhale. Good, inhale, straighten your front leg, adjust your stance as needed. We find triangle pose. Send your hips to the back as you exhale. Lengthen over and down. Yeah, beautiful. Roll your hips and heart skyward. And feel your side body lengthen as you almost like puff your hips up towards the sky. Good. And one more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly ground your right hand down. Find pyramid in your legs for a moment, just to give your hamstrings and hips the opportunity to neutralize. Then we'll find our twist here. Ground right hand inside or outside of left foot as we rotate from the navel up. Good. We're working to, even as we rotate, create space from hip through heart. Yeah, really beautiful. Last breath in. Slowly exhale your left hand down, and we sit up extended side. Slide your right foot back. Find a really long lunge here, just to allow your left hand to plant low. And sweep your arm over by your cheek. Yeah, this is great. Anna's doing a fantastic job of this rotation through the shoulder joint. Continuing to roll and spread through her ribs. Good. Continue to squeeze inner thighs towards one another. Find an inhale. And exhale, ground your right hand and your right knee to set up for the twist. Option to capture your left thigh as you sweep your right arm up and then revolve. Good. Once you create compression, starting to layer on with lifting the knee, or if hands open on the first side, you can always find that here again. Good. Last one. And slowly ground hands, find chaturanga. Nicely done. All right, we have Pincha Mayurasana round 2. So now we have some layers in our arsenal to work with, but Anna's gonna do a couple hops, and I'll be here to spot for her. I'll show 2 different spotting techniques, so once she gets up, we'll talk about it. All right, pick whichever leg you want. Okay, so since this is the lifted leg, I'm gonna come on this side. You'll see me on the other side when we switch. I find a little bit of a warrior 1 stance. All right, she's just gonna hop up, and I'm working to be here like a wall for her, so that she knows she's not gonna go too far. And I'm just lightly pressing one hand to the front of her hip to try and catch her. But ultimately, yeah, she's finding that space of balance for herself. Let's do one more on this side. Good, nice job, Anna. All right, if you need to take a break ski between sides, please do. All right, so this side, Anna, I'm gonna have you do the shoulder one where you press up on my shoulder with your foot. So this one's a little different. This one allows a little more support and balance. So rather than her kicking her leg, I'm gonna bring my shoulder underneath it as well as a C grip so she can press down into my shoulder to lift her own hips up, and then she sends her top leg straight overhead. Yeah, and then with this, she might even be able to lift her leg off my shoulder, but I'm letting her fight for her own balance here. I'm not doing all too much besides just offering support. I think this one is really valuable in forearm stand, especially because it can just be hard to know where that 190 degree of balance is. Good, and then she just comes back down. Nicely done. A few breaths to rest. The rocket sequence is truly designed in such a way that we go through these moments of high intensity, fast-paced movement and breath to then slowing it down. Takes our nervous system on a little bit of a roller coaster ride, which is intended. It's how we kind of notice or manage the fluctuations between these 2 states that allow us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and just this practice, really. That's what the root of it is. All right, so let's come to downward facing dog. Now we get to head into some deeper folds, which again regulate and bring down our nervous system a little bit from the peaks we just hit. All right, I'm just gonna have Anna start to walk her hands backwards to her feet at the back of her space. We're setting up Padangusthasana. Bend your knees deeply, grab your peace fingers around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. And exhale, fold. Pull on your toes to assist yourself deeper here. Good. Now, I'm going to assist Anna slightly here. Depending how low someone is in this fold, you may or may not place your knees on them, but for us, I think hands is perfect. I'm just going to let her know she can lean forward into me. I'm kind of pressing my elbows into my torso so that I can give her a little assist. How's that pressure, Anna?
Great.
Good. Deep breath in. Pull, exhale. Good. Now keep a hold of your toes. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Pause, exhale. Inhale, step onto your palms, Padahastasana. And you can always stay upright here and work a little more wrist love by paddling your feet. Or if you want more backline opening, bow out your elbows, pull yourself a little deeper here. More full round. Keep your hands where they are. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forwards. Then exhale, release, find a brief ragdoll. Capture the outer edges of your elbows or triceps and take a little sway or bounce. And then exhale your hands down to your mat. Toe heel your feet together to touch and then roll up to a standing stance at the back of your mat. All right, we are coming into a pretty quintessential rocket drill, San Francisco twinkle toes. So Anna's gonna come into a standing handstand shape. She'll send her arms overhead, extend her wrist towards the sky like she's gonna high five the ceiling, and then she'll come to her tippy toes. Big toes touch for this really helps a lot. Now it's meant to be a wobbly little party situation here. So if it feels that way, you're right on track. Hug navel up and in. Final layer is to gaze up if you want to, but this will make it a little more challenging. So gaze preference, you decide, and then start to twinkle to the top of your mat. Little steps along the way, slow, but finding the strongest engagement you can throughout your whole body, head to toe. Yeah, really nice. Twinkle it out, and then once you make it to the top of your mat, keep holding your shape. Lift high, your shoulders up, your ribs down, your glutes together. So nice, Anna. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Take a moment of grace here. I always think it's a great reminder that that shit was really hard up, right side up, and then we are trying to do it the other way, upside down, and you know, it's hard. Shit's hard. So let's take a deep breath in here. Big breath out. All right, guide your hands to your hips, and then Anna, I'll have you just step out to face the camera. We're coming into a wide leg stance, feet parallel. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Ground your hands beneath your shoulders. Now this can be personal preference of how you're feeling today in your practice of where your hands go. You can keep them where they are, walk a little further between your legs, or grab for edges of your feet. All right, I'm gonna assist Anna here. I'm gonna say, excuse me, and step 1 foot just a little further in. I just want my thigh in front of her thigh so she's not gonna fall forward. I'll ground my hand to her low back and then just gently assist her a little deeper here. I'm not using too much pressure. I'm letting her know it's cool to shift her weight towards her toes and that she's safe. Couple breaths. Stay for 1 more exhale. Press into your hands. Inhale, lengthen your torso. Then exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise. Good. Exhale, squeeze your elbows tighter together. Stay 1 more breath in. Exhale, fold, hands stay where they are. Prasarita B. Now this variation requires a little self-assistance. Hug your navel up and in, curl your chin slightly towards your chest. Anna's doing a great job of continuing to squeeze her shoulder blades together here. Stay for 1 more exhale. Keep your hands where they are. Inhale, rise all the way up, and then reach your arms overhead once you're stacked. Exhale, interlace your hands into a fist at your low back. Inhale, send your heart up, your fist down. Exhale, fold with chest expansion. Yeah, nice entrance there. Continue to squeeze your inner legs towards one another as if you were on a slippery surface instead of a sticky one. Good. Allow that inner leg line strength to help assist you a little deeper here. Again, I'm setting up in a similar fashion. I'm going to bring my hands to Anna's fist just to gently guide them a little further. We don't want to go too hard here with this assist. It's more of a kind of mindful guidance of letting them deepen versus twerking or forcing their body in any type of way. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Keep your fist. Let it help you rise up. Inhale. Nicely done. Good. Exhale, release your hands. And then another inhale, send your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Capture your big toes with your peace fingers. Last push here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull on your toes and fold. Good. Few rounds of breath. Keep your toes. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, break the pose. Shoulders under, hands under your shoulders. There we go. All right, we've got Sammo Konasana middle splits. Toe heel your feet out as wide as you can while keeping them parallel. It can be really tempting to just kind of drop our weight into this shape, but we want to maintain some inner leg line strength. That might mean staying up on palms. If there's a little more mobility, you might drop down, but this looks great, right? We're working this active lengthen engagement over anything else. So continue to breathe, squeeze inner thighs. We're just here for 3, for 2, and 1. Press into your hands to shimmy your feet a little closer together. Turn towards your right leg, then drop your left knee down. And then it's nice to locate your blocks if you've got them here. We're setting up for Hanumanasana full splits. Now, in Rocket, we like to approach this from building length from our back leg versus the front leg. So we want our front foot to stay flat. And Anna's gonna take some time as she tucks her back toes and shimmies her back knee as far as she can until she does reach that point of like a little discomfort, not pain, right, but discomfort in the stretch. Anna's doing an awesome job of shoulders over hips. This is key, and she's hugging her right hip back and pressing her left hip forward. Can I assist you in this, Anna? Okay, this one is a fun one. She's gonna bring one hand up at a time to reach for my neck, then she interlaces hands around the neck. I'm gonna make sure the mic is out, there we go. Okay, and then I bring my hands to her outer traps once she's here, and I'm like almost lifting up so that she's not dropping too much into this. And now she can create a squaring of her hips on her own. Yes, so good. 3 rounds. Last one. Good, and then she's slowly gonna exit. I'm gonna hold her again under her armpits a little bit just to keep her chest upright. And then she can set herself free on her blocks and start to shorten her lunge just a little bit. Yeah, she's going nice and slow. We wanna exit as slowly as we came in, just so that our nervous system, again, regulates and knows that we're safe, we're good. She'll take any counter stretches that feel nice. Whew, okay, and then we're gonna journey to our other leg. So we'll spiral through a wide leg fold. Anna is beautifully taking her blocks along with. Perfect. Then she'll drop her back knee. Give herself a few moments here. Okay, so she's again working her length from her back leg by scooting, until she's at her edge, and her front leg is still micro bent here, which is great. Okay, so then we're coming back for more. She's gonna bring one hand around the other, and I'm here on her ribs. And then I can start to straighten a little to create this length through her spine as she squares herself off. How you doing, Anna?
Great.
Good, we got a few breaths. This is also an assist where you will likely have to communicate with your human that you're working with, just because it can be a little tricky to set up. Last one. And then we'll slowly release just as mindfully as we came in. I'm here to support her as she comes out. Okay, and then she slowly shifts out of her depth, takes any counter stretches that she needs. And then we'll make our way back through wide leg fold. Okay, at least the way that we typically teach Rocket, we do this little exit to come down to a seated wide fold. Anna's gonna walk her hands back through her legs. Her fingers point in the opposite direction of her toes. Then she starts to grip through her hands, and with straight arms, she just leans her hips back. It's almost like TT Basana, Firefly with a flip grip, and then she just comes right down, just like that, perfect. All right, we're heading to Upavishta Konasana. Anna will inhale her arms above her head. Exhale, reach for the edges of feet or anywhere along the legs. Inhale, pull your heart forward, and then exhale, fold into this shape. All right, so I'm coming up to Anna with heels of my wrists on her outer thighs to help them externally roll open. Then I'm gently bringing my knees to her low spine. I start to press to my tippy toes to assist her a little deeper here. How's that pressure? Cool. Good, one more deep breath in. Stay, exhale. Good, keep toes, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, break the shape. Come into side body stretching. Anna will reach her right arm up and overhead. She'll maybe cradle her head and neck here. Notice her left arm is under her right thigh to help assist her here. So now I come up to her open side and place my shin, so not quite my knee joint, but my shin on her thigh, and then I roll it back towards me, so that creates that external rotation. Then I have hands to her ribs, inhale. Exhale, little rotation open and over. Inhale. And little rotation open and over. One more. Good, then Anna will inhale, rise, arms out like a ballerina. Good, then exhale, swap it out. I let her set up. Then I approach again, one foot behind just to find balance, and then my shin comes down as I roll her leg open a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, twist and lean. A couple more. Good. Inhale, rise, reach up. Then exhale, interlace your hands into a fist at your low back. Inhale your heart up, your fist down. Then exhale, she's gonna fold towards the earth. Imagine like she could kiss it. And then inhale, and then inhale, lift back up. Perfect. All right, release your arms by your sides. Okay, it is time. Guide your feet a little closer together. We're coming into Mula Bandha checkups. As the name implies, right, we're targeting our pelvic floor, really our lowest core muscles, focusing on compression and also strengthening through the legs, the hip flexors. So Anna's turned towards her right leg. Plant your hands on either side of your thigh. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold, feel this compressive activation. Then inhale, straighten through your arms, grip, lift your hips. Maybe you lift one foot, then the other. Hold for 3, for 2, and then 1, come back down. Oh my goodness. Okay, turn towards your other leg, same deal. We're gonna swap it out. All right, ground your hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Press down, inhale, lift up, straighten through your arms, cat your spine. Yes, alternate feet if you did so before. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Okay, we're gonna do one more round. just one more. I'm so sorry. Turn towards your right leg. It'll be snappy. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, press, squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Okay, almost there. Turn second side. Ground your palms, fingers spread, deep breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift, straighten, puff, squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing. You did it. Yeah, take any, I like to do a little meat tenderizing with the fists. Any windshield wiping that needs to happen is perfect. That was a lot of hard work. Okay, we'll take a little crow pose to the top of the mat. We've just activated all the crow muscles, so it might feel a little different than the first crow pose we took. Just here for 3, for 2, and 1. Chaturanga, or just step it on back. Good. So exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, journey to the top, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stay in your fold for a moment. We'll take a bind here behind the back. Traditional is reverse prayer. If that for any reason doesn't feel good, 2 fists is totally cool, or even grabbing wrists or elbows. All right, exhale here. Inhale, rise up with your bind. Good, then step your left leg back. Yeah, I did this the way I didn't want to, but that's okay. Take an inhale here, stay as you are. Exhale, pyramid pose. Shift forward and down. Good. We're working to continue creating the squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Anna's doing a great job leveling her hips and pressing equal weight through both of her feet. This looks awesome. Stay for one more exhale. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, pivot all the way around to face the back of your mat so that left leg is forward. Adjust your stance as needed. Take an inhale. Exhale, pyramid. Good. Yeah, fantastic. Dial your right hip forward and down, left hip up and back. Little bend through the front knee as you press fiercely between both of your feet. Good. Stay for one more exhale. Inhale, rise. Pivot back around towards the front. Then exhale, Samastitihi. Step to the top of your mat, hands by your sides. All right, let's take a breath in. Clearing breath out. We have our standing balancing series. Guide your left hand to your hip. Start to bend your right knee, lift it up, or you can straight leg lift and capture your toes. Whatever feels better, knees or toes, you get to decide, and then kick your heel forward. Deep breath in. And exhale, curl your forehead towards your knee. Good. Wrap your elbow in towards your shin. Looking great. One more. Exhale. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, guide your leg out to the side of your space. Yeah, nice job. Always option to capture knee. Perfect. I'm just standing here behind Anna, one hand to her ribs and one hand under her thigh. I'm really lightly pressing because you want to encourage your student to still do their own balancing. We're just there as encouragement and support. All right, slowly guide your knee back to center. Then exhale, curl forehead to knee, just one breath. Then inhale, lift up. Now the fun part, both hands to hips, release your foot, point your toe. This is always super fun. Continue to lift it up higher. Higher for 3, 2, One tree pose. Guide your foot to either a half lotus position or foot to the inner thigh, whatever feels best. Traditional is half lotus, as well as the half bind. So Anna's weaving her right arm behind her back, just capturing her left elbow here, which is a great layer. One day, maybe fingers to the right big toes. And then if you are bound, you might fold, but you can stay upright too. Beautiful. A few more breaths. If you're down, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Stay, exhale. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, release. Yeah, that was fun. Woo! And then pedal it out. Take a second. Okay, we gotta do the second side. Here we go. Right hand to waist. Inhale your left knee or foot up. Capture what feels best, and then begin to kick your heel forward. Find a juicy breath in. Exhale, curl forehead towards knee. Anna's doing a great job of wrapping elbow in towards the thigh, towards the leg rather. Here's 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, fan your knee out to the side. Good. And again, I'm just here lightly applying some guidance and encouragement, but Anna's doing all the work. Here's 3, 2, 1. Guide your leg back to center. Exhale, forehead to knee, curl. Again, I'm just maintaining my connection with Anna so she knows I'm here. Inhale, lift. Good. And then exhale, both hands to hips. Send your leg out. And now the mean part. All I'm really doing is guiding my hand underneath her foot so that she lifts it off of my hand. Yeah, so good. 3. Point your toe, lift. 2. And tree it out. 1. Again, half lotus or any tree expression. Anna went for the half bind, so we're gonna do that again here. Left hand behind the back, reach for the elbow to start. It's perfect to open the chest and shoulders and then begin to fold slow. And oftentimes it does, beginning the fold allows more space to create the bind of hands to the big toe, or fingers to the big toe. A few more breaths. And if you are folded down, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Ground, exhale. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, release. Hoo-hoo. Okay, standing balancing, check. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, palms together, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Okay, do you want to demo the layer of jump through, like the step cross? Okay, perfect. So we now have entered the portion of Rocket One where we get to do so many jump throughs and jump backs. So Anna's going to demo one of the layers. She'll lift to her tippy toes and gaze forward, and then she'll step 1 foot across, or she'll tiptoe closer, then step 1 foot across towards her opposite wrist. Do the same with the other foot. Then she bends her knees, drops her hips as she shimmies her feet through, sends her legs out. Her booty is still up, that is key, and then she drops it back down. If we're still working on jumping through and kind of shimmying through the arms, maintaining the hip lift at the end of it is going to help you build the strength to eventually not need to do that. So key that you do that always. We're setting up Dandasana here. She's got her legs out in front of her and her hands are by her sides. She's inhaling up, then exhaling, slowly tucking her chin towards her chest just slightly. We got a couple more breaths here. One more full round. Good. Then inhale, she'll reach forward, interlace her fingers around her toes or to the edges of her feet. Then exhale, she'll fold deep here. We've got a few rounds of breath. I'm just going to come up to her, bring hands or thumbs towards her mid-back as I place my knees just above her low back. And then again, I press through my tiptoes just to shift her a little deeper here. One more full round. Keep your bind. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, release the shape. Guide your hands back behind you. We combine these 3 shapes. This is upward facing plank. Anna can bend her knees to reverse table or keep heels flat as she lifts her hips up. Good. Continue to breathe, squeeze. I'm just bringing my hands under her ribs to help elevate her and create a little bit of room and levity in her shape. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down. All right. So Anna's gonna demo. We're gonna shift up into boat pose. So she'll inhale, lift her legs up, and then cross her shins, plant her hands, press into the edges of her feet to lift her booty up. Then she walks her feet back through, steps, chaturangas. Good. Inhale up, exhale, downward facing dog. So those are kind of the intro levels and layers to jumping through and jumping back. Beautiful. Now, Anna's gonna bend her knees, gaze forward. Inhale, jump through any way she likes. Crisscross, shift and lift. Look at that. That was beautiful. So smooth. All right, we're setting up for Ardha Baddha Padmasana. So she'll start to bend her right knee, find half lotus shape. Now, for any reason half lotus isn't the vibe, you can do half gomu. Will you show that really quick? Perfect. So Anna's knees are stacked. The reason why we do half gomu rather than like a Janu leg is because we're getting more hip opening here, which is great prep for half lotus. So Anna's gonna do either this or the half lotus. Either way is perfect. And then option to half bind or inhale, reach both arms forward towards your front foot. Then as you exhale, fold and compress. Couple rounds of breath here. Since Anna's in her half gomu, I'm just gonna take my hands to her hip creases and give her just a little rotational movement to open up through her side seat. One more full round of breath. Just gonna keep her toes, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, break the pose. Now, traditionally, we would do a chaturanga between the legs, but today we're just gonna switch the legs from right here. So she'll grab her left leg and send it over her right. Then inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, fold. And again, I'm just working to open, create a little space in the muscles of her outer hips, which will also lend itself nicely to some of the following shapes we have coming up. Last exhale. Keep your mind, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, break the pose. Anna will uncross her legs, send her feet up. Then cross shins, plant hands, lift her hips up, press into feet, send it back, chaturanga. Good. This time she went straight to chaturanga rather than holding in a plank. Totally cool. Over time, that's how we build into this. All right. Now we set up Trianga Mukha Padmasana. We'll just jump through first. So bend your knees as you exhale. Inhale, shift forward, cross shins, feet come out, hips up, then down. All right, so she'll come into half heroes on her right leg and then guide her sits bones to the inside of her right foot. Then inhale, reach forwards for left toes. Exhale, fold. Now, naturally in this shape, we sometimes lean towards the extended leg. So a nice assist can just be to gently press the right hip, in this case, down. One more breath. Good. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, release, and swap out the legs. Straighten the right leg, half heroes, on the left side. All right, then inhale, reach forwards for your toes. Exhale, fold and pull. Now this side, little left hip anchoring. Last breath. Keep your foot, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Then exhale, break the pose, send your left leg forward, lift your legs up slightly, shift back, cross shins, plant hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. As you bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, jump through to a seat. Beautiful. Now we'll come into Janu Sirsasana A. Bend your right knee, ground the sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Inhale, reach forwards towards your left toes. Exhale, fold. Now this is similar to some of the side body stretching we did earlier. I'm gonna ground my shin onto her thigh to help roll it down and back. And just gently have my hands towards her ribs, mid-back, to gently guide her a little deeper here. You might even press your other leg as well into their back, but just be sure that, again, we're staying like pelvis disconnected, but it might add a little more leverage. One more. Good, then keep your toes, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, break the shape, send your right leg forward, and then left leg, Janu A. Inhale, reach for toes. Exhale, pull and go a little bit deeper. Okay. Last full breath. Keep toes, inhale, lengthen, look forwards. Exhale, release in both legs. Or actually, we'll go straight to Janu B instead. So B, we do a little lift and shift of the seat. So Anna's shifting up onto her right foot. We're aiming to get the heel kind of in the perineum area. Reach forward, inhale, and exhale, pull. No, you're good. Just some ponytail management. With this one, since we're sitting on a heel, I'm not gonna do too much pressure by any means. I'm just guiding hands to hips, kind of paddling them in as she shifts forward. That's the extent of it. And one more breath. Good, inhale, lengthen, gaze forward, and then exhale, release. Just gently shift off of your foot to then swap out the legs. So she'll lift, shift, heel to perineum, creating a little connection and activation. It's like a reminder for that area to be lifting and pulling as we're in this shape. And then again, I'm just paddling my hands in, using force through my palms just to support her hips here. Good, last breath. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards, and then exhale, release the pose. Shift off your heel, hips forward, lift feet up, cross shins, plant hands, and jump back. We meet downward facing dog. Bend your knees as you gaze forward. Inhale, jump through to a seat. Setting up Marichis now, A and C. Bend your right knee. Stamp your foot like one fist between your foot and left inner thigh. And then reach both arms inside of your right leg and then tent them out. I like to start here just to kind of get used to this curling forward, this binding, and then we'll begin to flip, right thumb down and then out and around behind you as you capture the left arm in this bind. So what I'm gonna do for Anna here is come up to her and help kind of squeeze her thigh in and then roll her shoulders open in this shape. Good. And one more full breath. And then inhale, look forwards. Exhale, release the pose. Now we'll twist and find C. So we're combining one leg. She'll tend her right hand behind her as Anna will inhale, lift her left arm up. Excuse me, then exhale, hook and twist. So you can just stay here, this is perfect, or we'll half bind and is bending her left elbow to reach her thumb open and palm open rather, thumb up. All right, then she can stay here or go for the full bind. So in this, really I'll come in just to help support and lift her. Then I'll bring hands towards her shoulders. We'll take a deep breath in. Then exhale, I just help with a little more twist. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, gaze forwards. Then exhale, release the shape. Nicely done. And then we will jump back. Good. Exhale, down dog. Bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, jump through. And then we'll set up the left hand side for both those Marichis that we wove together. A. So she reaches her arms through and forward. She might pause in a T shape with her arms just for a sec, and then she sets up her binds. You can always just stay half here and then eventually working the full. It's totally, not necessary to be fully bound. Just keep focusing on rolling forward and squeezing in. So again, I'm just helping Anna hug her inner thigh in by wrapping my forearm here and encouraging the squeeze of her shoulder blades together and down in this shape. One more. Inhale, lengthens, look forward. And then exhale, release. We set up C right away. Tent your left hand. Inhale, your right arm up. Exhale, hook and twist. Good. Half bind. Palm flips out and around towards the right hip crease. And then maybe left hand weaves back as well. And again, I'm just here as a pillar of support to help her lift and then find a little more rotation. Last breath. Slowly unwind, come through center. No, gaze forward. Yep, thank you. And find your way back through. We meet in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, gaze forward. Inhale, jump through to a seat, find Navasana boat pose. Excuse me. Okay. So we've got many layers of Navasana. You can always grab the backs of your legs, keep your knees bent. Traditional is straight legs and arms straight, but not necessary. The biggest, most important aspect of this is long spine, strong core. Anna is crushing that. Here's 3, 2, good. Plant your hands, cross your ankles. Don't jump back, but just press into your hands to lift your hips, roll forward. Here's 3, 2, 1. We'll just do one more round, boat pose. Lift it up, inhale for 3, 2, 1, opposite shin in front, cross, and then plant, lift up, hold for 3, 2, 1, jump back. Yeah, it's rude to do it from there. Yeah, you're like, no. Jump back, and then downward facing dog. Okay, bend your knees, gaze forward, and he'll come through to a seat. All right, we have Baddha Konasana A and B. Start to bend your knees, soles of your feet to touch. Good, capture your feet, inhale, lengthen. Then exhale, fold forward. For this first one, think long spine over rounded spine. Squeeze shoulders. Anna's pressing her elbows into her inner thighs, which is a great self-assist here. So I'm gonna let her keep working that as she's pressing her heart forward and down, thinking heart towards her toes. Stay for one more exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Good, and then exhale, round and fold forward. She's pulling her feet apart almost like she's reading a book, grabbing the soles and rolling them out, and then rounding down to create deeper spinal flexion. Elbows are still towards the inner thighs. Continue to press and squeeze. One more exhale. Inhale, lengthen, look forwards. And then exhale, break the shape. All right, we are going to deviate a little from the traditional sequence by staying here in Baddha Konasana before we come into a wide-legged boat. Usually we come from Upavishta, but I think it's a little easier or just more intuitive to set up from this way. So Anna's gonna grab her big toes with her fingers and send her knees up and heels out. Her arms are inside of her legs. It's almost like an upright, happy baby. This is a great place to stay, build length, build strength, or she'll start to rock back onto her sits bones to lift her heels up. Her knees can stay bent. This is perfect. Or she might start to extend her legs out. Crushing it. Few breaths here. Now this is a perfect place to stay. Work the length, work the shape, or we're gonna roll back. Think like a wide-legged plow pose. Perfect. Few breaths here. Anna still has a hold of her toes and she's working her hips over shoulders. This looks fantastic. Now the fun part is we're gonna rock and roll our way back up to a wide-legged boat. So Anna's gonna prepare and then roll, shift, and lift. Pro tip, Anna bent her knees to do this. Over time, legs will stay straight, but bent knees makes it work. All right, one more inhale. Then we come to a forward fold. Again, you can bend your knees here first and then slide them out. There we go. Couple breaths right here. Nicely done, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. Now she's going to inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, break the pose. I'm just going to guide her legs together to touch. Ordinarily, we would do a chaturanga here, but let's just lay down. Let's just take a lay down. Yeah. We have reclined hand to big toe pose here. So Anna will send her legs straight out in front of her. Guide her left hand to her hip, just like we did in standing balancing. And then she'll send her right leg up. Again, bent knee is great. Capture toes and then kick your heel up. Continue to breathe. Now you can always stay here, rooted spine, or exhale, lift forehead to knee. Similar to, again, what we saw upright, we're just now supine position. Here's 3, 2, 1. She'll lower her head and neck and then fan her leg out towards the side. So one assist here is just to step underneath the hip bone. So I might, have Anna scoot her hand so I can help anchor her down. This is really all that I do. And I'm not pressing my whole body weight by any means, but just giving her that little ability to iron her low back flat. Last two. Good, and one. Inhale, come back through center. Then exhale, release foot, let it drop down towards the mat. Good. Now right hand to right hip. Inhale, left leg up. Capture toes, kick. We'll land here for a breath. And then next, exhale, curl forehead towards knee. Think really strong core, almost like a crunch here as you lift for 3, 2, 1. Head, neck, shoulders down, and then exhale, open out towards the left side. Again, I'll just approach Anna and gently place hand beneath her hip bone, right? So we don't want it on the bone. I'm not pressing too hard, just enough to keep her anchored and steady. For 3, 2, and then 1. Inhale, come back to center. And gently release foot. Let it go. Good. All right. Again, ordinarily we would do a chakrasana here, which is a backward somersault chaturanga. We'll save that for another time. So for now, we're just going to go to standard plow pose. So legs together, similar to the wide leg situation we just saw. Anna will send her legs up and then hips over shoulders. Hands to low back is fantastic here. Eventually we are going to grab the toes, but if hands to low back feels more supportive, please stick with this. We've got a couple more breaths right here. And then we are going to explore that similar transition of rocking up. Anna will prepare with an exhale. And she'll inhale, start to roll, shift, bent knees, kick, lift. Yes, that was amazing. Nicely done. Hold here. So we're legs together in boat. Next layer would be to capture heels or backs of legs. But again, this is fantastic. Hold and squeeze and breathe for 3, for 2. Slowly release out of your boat, cross your ankles, plant your hands, jump back. I think that's one of the last ones. We're getting there, And then downward facing dog is where we meet. All right, we've got some belly up back bends. Bend your knees, gaze forward, jump through to a seat. And then we'll lie all the way down. Now for today, I'm gonna cue Anna through 2 bridges and 1 wheel. But if you want 3 wheels, a bridge and then 2 wheels, it's all fair game. But we'll start again with bridge. Traditional is bridge here as well. All right, plant your hands by your hips, ground into your feet. As you inhale, lift your hips, your mid back and your upper back. Shimmy your shoulder blades together underneath you as you drive down through your feet. Good. Then press against my hands here as you lift, squeeze your glutes. Good. For 3, 2, slowly lower upper back, mid back, and low back. Take a breath in, breath out. All right, second round, hands plant. Inhale, lift hips, mid back, and upper back. Say 6 rounds of breath. I'll let Anna breathe here on her own, as maybe she continues to deepen. That might look like a bind at her low back, interlaced as she's showing. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down. All right, let's find an inhale here. Exhale it out. Again, traditional, we would have done a chaturanga between our bridge and our wheel, but now we're just gonna take it straight to wheel. So I'm gonna demo Anna capturing my ankles as an assist here. This is great just for wrist love, but also shoulders if students are still working on that deep shoulder flexion. Okay, so I'm gonna cue Anna to exhale, prepare. And then inhale, press into her hands and feet to lift up. Then my hands just come right underneath her shoulder blades and ribs. I'm lifting up, but also hugging her towards me slightly. I'm gonna breathe for 3, 2. And then to exit, I'll have Anna tuck her chin to her chest. I'll slowly come with her as we lower her shoulders down, mid back and low back. Nicely done. Let's take a moment in fallen bridge or Supta Baddha Konasana. So knees can be together, feet apart, or feet together, knees apart. Couple breaths to ground and reset. Okay, and then when we're ready, Again, we would traditionally do chakrasana here, a backwards chaturanga, but I'll have Anna just hug her knees to her chest. Maybe take a rock side to side. And then a rock and roll forwards and backwards. Gain some momentum. If you'd like a chaturanga here, go for it, but we are heading towards downward facing dog. That's my favorite. Get stuck. Okay. Inhale your right leg towards the sky. Exhale, half pigeon. Guide your right knee wide towards your outer wrist crease. Send your left knee back as you hug your right hip back. Puff up through your chest and sleep your pigeon. Start to walk your way forward and down. Connect your forehead to something, whether it's a block or two or your mat. This will allow your shoulders to rest with the rest of your body. As I assist Anna here, I'm just coming up and providing some, again, depth and a little bit of pressure to her sacrum. I'm thinking dragging down, but also back slightly. Then I like to come one hand to the front thigh to help it externally rotate, and then just gently guiding torso and hips forward and down to create a little opposition. We'll do this for a few breaths. I like to bring back hand to the back thigh, and this will create some internal rotation. So I'll take a deep breath in. Then again, front hand goes up and out, back hand goes back and down and out. Then I like to finish with just a little bit of hamstring pressure, a bit of massage. Skip over the knee joint, go to the calf, and then foot. All right, I'll have Anna start to come back up, gently press into your palms. All right, traditional here is king pigeon. We'll work into the quad stretch. So Anna will begin to bend her back knee, and reach back for her foot. So a way you can come in just to assist a student with a little more depth here is by lunging to have something as like somewhat of a wall for them to press back against. Now I'm just going to gently bring my other hand towards her shoulder just to help her open her chest. And I'm going to gently press my knee into her leg, and I'm going to confirm with her, how's this pressure? Good. We don't want to like overdo it. If someone's knee joint isn't ready for too deep of a bend or too deep of flexion, we could really hurt someone. So you want to check in with your student to see if they can take a little more pressure as you're guiding their foot closer towards them. And depending how far they're going into their back bend, little ponytail management, you might bring one hand to their shoulder blades to just kind of like help roll their chest open and back. And so you're just here to support. A few more breaths. And I'm going to slowly start to shift out, right? I don't want to just like totally step away, releasing some of that pressure. And then Anna can come out. We'll make our way to downward facing dog. All right. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Good. Yeah, left knee out towards the edge of your space. Scoot your right knee back, lift through your chest. And then begin to descend down into your sleeping pigeon. This side might feel a little bit different from the first side. Honor whatever is different and adjust as needed to give yourself the same amount of support and groundedness. And again, I'm just starting by kind of scooping up and then pressing down and back through Anna's sacrum. I guide front hand. Her almost this like hip crease, driving down through the pinky edge and my thumb pad. Inhale. And then as she exhales, I gently hug my hand back as I'm pressing this hand slightly forward and down. This just creates the opposition and the stretch through here. And then I take my hand that's at her low back to her back thigh, and we repeat. we come to the hamstring, show it a little bit of love. And then calf. And foot. And I'll have Anna slowly return back up to her palms. And we'll work towards the quad stretch, which builds us into our edge of one day king pigeon. Good. And I let her get set up first just to see how this side looks, see how far she's going. And then again, I'm lunging. The forward leg is the one that's connected to her foot. And then I just kind of help guide them. How's that? Cool. And then again, on this side, or on the first side rather, I have one hand towards her shoulder that's rotating open, and the other hand is just here at her low back, encouraging her to open her chest. Beautiful. A few more breaths. Good, and then we'll slowly start to release. I'll shift out, and then Anna releases her foot. We make our way to downward facing dog. All right, opportunity to jump through if you'd like. Make your way to a seat. We'll set up Gomukhasana. We'll start right leg over left. We cross, or rather we bend both knees. And you might shift forward a little like Anna just did to create some more compression through thighs. You're welcome to stay upright. You're also welcome to do the arm bind, which would look like left hand over, right arm under. You're welcome to keep it if you want it, Anna. And then we'll fold forward here if we feel like we have enough space, and this is good. If someone is in the arm bind, you can come up to them, wrap one arm under and the other one to the tricep just to help keep squeezing shoulder blades together here. I'm going to then come back and focus on Anna's hips. We saw this similarly in our seated section of class. I'm just kind of rolling her outer hips to help her root and create some more opening. And last breath out. Inhale, rise, reach up, and then release arms once you're up. Send them out to a T for a moment, any kind of release you'd like. All right, we're gonna do the San Francisco twist to get out of the shape. You can always just cross your opposite leg over, or Anna will take her hands to the left side of her space, press into her right foot to lift up, spin all the way around, and then bend both knees, drop down. It's like magic. Okay. She's taking all the same micro adjusts she needs just to set herself up, pulling heels towards her hips. Right hand comes over this time. Left palm is open as it connects, and then start to fold forward. Again, if I were to come in here and focus more on the bind, I'm just wrapping one hand around the front of her left shoulder. Other hand is around her right tricep just to build a little more space here. And I'm gonna let her keep working her bind as I come into her hip. Last round of breath. And slowly inhale, rise. And then release the arms, give the arms a moment. All right, and then Anna will just slightly uncross her legs, plant her hands, option again to jump back. This is the last one for reals. And then we make our way to downward facing dog. And then this is the last jump through. Come all the way through. We find Paschimottanasana. Once you make it there, send your legs straight out in front of you. Capture your toes as you inhale. Exhale, pull and fold. You can also capture edges of the feet if this feels better. And again, just hands to thumbs, knees towards her low spine. And I start to lift my toes to create more length and space through her low back. And then again, maybe hands come, maybe even forearms too. Press down. One more breath. Slowly gonna back out of the pressure. Steady. Good. Inhale, lengthen, then exhale, break the pose. We'll come to an easy seat, Sukhasana. Cross your ankles. You might have a block nearby. We are going to fold forward with the intention of third eye coming to the mat. So a prop could be nice for this. Anna will start to bind her hands behind her back, option to capture opposite elbow. Find a deep breath in. Exhale, fold third eye towards the earth or block. And just connect here. Ground. A moment of, again, intentional awareness brought to closing out practice. What showed up on your mat today through these poses and shapes? Again, they act as a conduit. They allow us to better understand ourselves and the journey as we kind of work to land in the full expression of these shapes, but also knowing and acknowledging that our worth is not tied to this. 2 more breaths here. And keep your bind. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release your arms. Find Jnana Mudra. Bring your thumb and pointer finger to touch. Rest the backs of your hands to your knees. Sit tall and proud. Root your sits bones down as you lengthen your crown higher towards the ceiling. Again, a few breaths here in the seat of meditation to acknowledge, to ground, to bear witness. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Option to keep your eyes closed. Plant your hands next to your hips. Curl your shins in closer to your chest. We have one last little bit of fire before Shavasana. Press into your palms to lift your hips up. Lean forward and hold it. Squeeze it for 5, 4. Deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Roll down onto your back. Find your way to Shavasana. Take up space. Splay your fingers out wide. And take this well-deserved rooting, grounding, and reset. And very slowly begin to draw your awareness back. Mindfully deepen your breaths. And begin to invite small movements back into your body. Gentle wiggles into some larger movements of your wrists and your ankles. And then work your way to a full body stretch. Your arms overhead as you point through your toes. And gently roll off to either side as you bend your knees. Use your arm like a pillow in fetal position. And then with your eyes closed, press your way up to a comfortable seat. And guide your hands to prayer, your heart center, and take a moment here just to acknowledge, again, yourself, your effort, your dedication, and for showing up to your practice. Find a big breath in, big breath out. Shift your thumbs from your heart to your third eye, sit tall. We bow to our inner teacher and guide. And namaste. Thank you, Anna. And thanks, y'all. There will be more rocket classes coming, so stay tuned. But there we go. Namaste.